I think independent cinema is really, really important because I think it challenges mainstream films and cinema, and it actually challenges, or it can challenge, mainstream ideology. I think it introduces, or it can introduce, alternative narratives, and that's really important. So when I think about filmmakers such as yourself, such as 𝗵𝗵𝗁𝗂𝗧, and some of the films that she's made, 𝗪𝗵𝗁𝗁𝗲 Red, or A Place of Rage, or I think about 𝗪𝗵𝗁𝗁𝗲𝗄𝗧 and some of the films she's made, 𝗂𝗵𝗁𝗁𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 𝗪𝗁𝗂𝗍 and her film about alcohol years and so on. When I think about some of those women filmmakers and the messages that are conveyed in their films, whether they're films or whether they're documentaries, they're really important messages and really important voices that we don't often get the opportunity to hear about if we think about mainstream. So I think independent cinema is very important because it brings those narratives, those voices, it challenges, it can undermine mainstream, and it basically, as I said, challenges ideology and hegemony. It can do. And so I think that's very important. I think woman life freedom, you say from Iran, is very important across the board. Woman life freedom is very important. I think we, as women, we have, our voices are marginalized, our voices are oppressed. And I think it's really important that women life freedom is a mantra, is something that we recognize and we talk about, because how else do we actually try to bring a change that we need? Recently in the press here in England, we saw what happened with Patsy Stevenson and with 𝗪𝗵𝗁𝗲𝗍𝗄, the two who were, after the killing of 𝗪𝗵𝘁𝗁𝗲𝗲𝗲𝗍 and the protest, and those women went out to protest, about women's life and the freedom to be able to walk on the streets here, and what happened to them. I think it's really important in Iran, in places we think about Black Lives Matter, we think about the Me Too movement, where we have to have a voice. We have to be able to be ourselves, to be accepted. There needs to be parity. We need to have equity between the genders, across the board. And I think it's for me, it's really important that we talk about women, we talk about women life freedom, and we think about how we actually start to bring a change. Sometimes it feels like things are changing, things are shifting. There's positivity. There is a light of equity and parity, and then other times actually it feels that there isn't. And the only way I think we can bring change is actually to keep on pressing forward and in effect demanding that change and demanding our equality. So I think it's important.